Hey guys, welcome back to Meiburg's Garage. Today we're doing an oil filter on my Miata. This is everything you need to do an oil change yourself at home and save the money so you can put it towards some cool upgrades on your car. You're going to need a socket set. You need an oil pan for your old oil to go into. It's nice to have some clean rags with you. You need an oil filter, and you should always have a new crush washer. If you don't, you can always flip the old one. You shouldn't, but you can. There's oil, obviously, and then my car's too low for some jack stands and a jack, but if you have that, you can obviously use that. I got ramps to drive my car up on. We also have an oil filter wrench, which I would say you don't need, but is a luxury item to have, and a funnel. With all these items, you yourself can do your own oil change at home. Let's get to it. Alright, make sure you abuse the ramps. This is my pristine, mint condition Miata. 20,000 or best offer. I know what I have.
No low ballers.
No low balling. Always, if you're on jacks and jack stands, give your car a little shake. Make sure it's good on it. Obviously, we're on ramps, so I mean, you could shake it, but they should be good. Alright, so now you got your beautiful little car up on jack stands or up on ramps. Now you're thinking, gosh, what do I do next? Well, we got you covered. I would use a creeper, but my car's too low to fit a creeper. So first things first, you find your oil drain plug. On Miatas, it's on the passenger side of the oil pan. So that's going to be a 19 or a 21. So let's get that socket, we'll get the oil pan under here, and we'll drain the oil. And then I'll show you guys a nice tip on how to get the oil filter out. So on Miatas, it's a 19 millimeter for the oil drain plug. You can also use a 3/4 if you have that. They are basically the same. You can always move the drain pin out of the way just to crack it. Alright. Let's open this oil drain and get the oil flowing. Alright, oil's flowing. Let's go up top and open our oil cap. Alright, so the trick to getting the oil filter out on Miatas, there's a brace right down here that goes from the engine block to the air intake. And as you can see, that's the oil filter right down there. So it's really hard to get out if you don't take that brace off. If you take that brace off, easy as can be. So it's these two bolts right up here. And then, alright, so it's that bracket right there. That's the bottom bolt. So we're gonna get that bracket out and it's gonna make your life a lot easier. Alright guys, these two bolts are 14 millimeter. You can also use a 9/16, those are also interchangeable. Let's get these cracked. Alright, let's go get that one down below. Alright guys, so this is the bottom bolt for that bracket. Also a 14. Now the oil filter's right there. It's gonna leak on everything. Alright guys, I do have a tool that slips over the bottom and it funnels all the oil into a tube that you'd put out here. I'll put a picture up on the screen, but unfortunately I cannot find it, so we get to make an oily mess. Get your wrench up there, crack it loose, and start unscrewing that bad boy. Find where it decides to drain out. We're gonna let that drain for a second. So you're gonna take your new filter. You're gonna take some new oil. Dip your finger in there. And oil up the O-ring of your oil filter. Get that all lubricated up. If you don't do that, your oil filter is going to be stuck to your engine, and you don't want that. So you want to lube this up. So a lot of people pre-fill their oil filters, but when it goes like this on your engine, it's all just going to dump out anyways. So I tend to not pre-fill them. Let's go put this on. Alright, so now we got the new oil filter. Gonna screw that on. Get it to where it touches. And just screw like half a turn. That's all you need. Don't crank that thing down as hard as you can, because it ain't gonna come off next time you wanna do an oil change. Now we're gonna take some rags. Clean off everything down here. Now we got our new crush washer. Put it on the drain plug. Screw that back in. Let's get our 19mm and tighten that. Now we're gonna get that brace installed back on. Alright. Gotta shimmy it up in there. Just gonna go hand tight for now, and then we'll get those bolts in up top, tighten those down, and then come back and tighten this one down. Alright, now we're gonna put in the bolts up top. Give us some nice ugga-duggas. The old German torque spec of Guten tight. Alright guys, so these motors take exactly 4 quarts to fill up. I'm going to fill up about 3 quarts and then roll it off the ramps. If I can't roll it off, I'll just start it up, back it up off the ramps. And then we'll get it on flat ground. We'll fill it up to the top where the dipstick says, which should be 4 quarts. And then you are done, so let's get to filling. If your Miata suffers from a lot of lifter tick, like a lot of Miatas do, one thing that I have learned is if you use 1540 oil, it does help slightly with lifter tick on startup, but you can always use 1030, doesn't always have to be 1540. Alright, so we still need to add some. We got the car on level ground now. That is perfect. You always want it at that top full line, and your engine will stay happy. Alright guys, now I'd like to start the car to make sure the oil fills up the oil filter, and then we'll recheck the oil after that and make sure it's still at that nice fill line. It's always good to see oil pressure. We're going to let this run for about a minute, and then we'll turn it off and check the level again. Alright guys, so now we ran it. It should have filled up that oil filter nice and good. We are down just a tad because I had to fill it up. So let's add just a little bit more. Alright guys, that's a wrap for an oil change on a Miata. Don't forget to recycle your oil and filters. Catch us next week where we put an exhaust on my car. If you know me, you know I've ran an exhaust before. I had to take it off to smog the car, but we're going to put it back on. I'll show you guys how to change the exhaust on a Miata. It's very loud, so it's going to be fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Hopefully this video was nice and informative for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Perfecto mundo. Alright guys, so here we have the stock exhaust versus the ISR exhaust.